Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. It's great to be with you again. As you can see, I'm going to be coloring in... Oh, sorry about that. Alright, so I'm going to be coloring in Magical Dawn by Hanna Karlzon, and the page that we're going to be coloring is this one here with the heart. So I'm going to zoom you in and we're going to have a think about how we can color this page. So my one son came through and asked if he could pick the page for tonight, and he picked this one. So I have no idea what we're gonna do or how we're gonna do it, but we'll get started. I'm also going to be using the Black Widow pencils because I've not tried them in this book, so it will be interesting to see how they perform. Although, to be honest, the paper in Magical Dawn is really good, so it should work for just about anything that you throw at it. Alright, first things first, I want to hop onto Pinterest and see if I can find some colored pages for this design, just so I can get an idea of how people have approached this. I'm thinking, well, typically I think of hearts as being red, but I might go pink. I'm not sure actually. Not really sure what we're gonna do. So if we type in Magical Dawn heart, we will get somewhere. So I want to always try and see if I can do something. Well, I quite like that one actually. Alright, so the picture I found is very similar to this. So what we will do is we'll do it pinky red. We could either do it pinky red, or we could do it red with gold along here, and then the feathers are like bluish white. So that's one option. The other option we've got is to do it pink gold, so it's like pink and gold, and that would be, I think, the two main options. Right, so kind of just for something different, I'm almost leaning towards bright red here, and then this area is even darker red with then gold bits here, and we'll have bluish white decoration and feathers, and I think that will look quite nice. And then the background, I'll try and follow the background of the picture I'm doing, and I'll actually create it that it's very vibrant here with streaks of light going into a bit of a dark blue sort of background. But I'm not going to, let's just think this through. Alright. Okay, so firstly now I need to get my pencils out. So I'm needing vibrant reds, so I'm looking at possibly using Ladybug, Blood Diamond. You can use Brown Bug. I like Brown Bug actually. It's a very good color. So we want Blood Diamond. We might take out the deep red from the Cobra set. We're going to need Blood Red, Brown Bug, Brown Bug, Blood Red, use Bloodshot from the Dragon set. Okay, so we'll work on the heart for now. We might actually bring in a little bit of a vibrant orange. So maybe a serpent would work actually. We'll use a bit of a light rust. And this will just warm it up. We'll use light rust and we'll use a Lady Jane. Okay. Hi Penny, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Alright, so what I'm going to do is approach the heart in a similar way to strawberries, where the orange is going to create a bit of warmth in the heart, and then the pink is going to help just create a bit of a highlight. Okay, so I'm going to come along here with my Lady Jane, which is DG154. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my orange, so I want to come along here. And I'm being mindful that I'm going to have a highlight along here, and I want highlights up here and here. Hi Kenny, how are you? Okay, so if I'm going to do gold here, I can do the centerpiece gold and then maybe put like a blue gemstone in here so it ties in with the wings. Yeah, not too bad, thank you. So I'm just trying to work out which order I need to do my reds in. So Blood diamond is quite dark, so that should be near brown bug. Bloodshot is probably next. And then I have a deep red. Alright, so let's try the deep red. And then I'll go into the bloodshot. Okay. So I want to build up my layers. And hopefully that will create a lovely, rich, vibrant red. Oh, you're doing laundry. No worries. It's one of those ongoing things. No sooner have you done it and then you've got to do more. It's like the dishes. Let me zoom you in a bit more so you can see a bit better. There we go. A little bit closer. I always get very lost with all these designs. So we could always make these blue. So those blue, this blue. That is gold. So maybe in here we'll do it red. Okay. Let's remove these. I prefer more simpler jewelry sometimes than all these decorations because I don't really know how to color them, and I find them, I get a bit lost. So if I simplify it this way, it just helps a little bit. So the first heart I did in Magical Dawn, I think I did it, was it 2020? So I did it earlier on in the book. Let's have a look. When did I do the heart? Oh, 2021. So almost 3 years later. Be interesting to see how this heart compares to the first one I did in the same book. So, what is new in the colouring community? Alright, I have just muted all my notifications so I don't hear all that notification bells going off. So I'm back into one of those months where life is just happening and I'm not feeling very confident I'm going to have much to show for colouring at the end of the month. But we'll do our best, and we've still got a whole week to go. So a lot can happen between then and now. But here's hoping for a few more pages complete and a few more things to show for January. I'm probably going to use a white gel pen to create my highlights. I've got at least one buddy colour planned for February, so that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that one actually. I think this piece here, I'll colour it gold and then I might erase some of it and go in with like a silver pen and a white pen or something. So I'll try decorate the jewelry section. It's like a bedazzled heart stone. I think I've decided Magical Dawn is going to be one of those books I want to complete once upon a time. Especially because it's the first book I got and really coloured in when I started colouring back in 2020. So if you've coloured a colouring book and finished it, how long was the process for you between when you started and when you finished? How many colouring books have you finished? Oh, yum, you've made bread. What kind of bread did you make? Oh, you baked Trader Joe's frozen bread. Cool. Oh, it doesn't matter. It still fills the home with that delicious baked bread smell. I grew up with my mom making bread, and I always love the smell of coming into the kitchen and having bread freshly baked and all. And then I also baked my own bread, but just the past 9 months or so I haven't really been baking my own bread because I've just been very busy. So I'm hoping at some point I'll get back to it, because I much prefer my homemade bread to store-bought bread. I find being gluten-free, the store-bought bread is okay, I can handle it, but I do prefer my own bread. It's just much more tastier. My only thing is just finding the time. I need to actually just make time. Oh, that's fabulous. I'm glad it tastes really good. Yay, you're back. So, Penny, I wanted to ask you, is your name Noelle and your YouTube channel Penny Arcade, or am I muddled? I feel like I'm muddled up and I just want to make sure I use the correct name. So which name would you prefer we call you by? Oh, absolutely. Homemade bread has the best taste and the best smell. My mom even used to make rusks, and those were amazing. Oh, okay, Noel. All right, I will make sure that I call you Noel from now on. My sincere apologies for being very slow to the memo. Oh, you're very gracious. Right, so this is still looking very, very messy. But it's okay, we'll just keep on coloring and eventually it will look pretty. The first layers are always quite messy. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in Bloodshot. Actually, no. I'm going to go slightly darker and I'm going to do Blood Diamond and put in some of my shadowy bits. And this is where I'm probably going to start going, no, I don't like this color. My mom used to make rusks. So those hard baked bread where it's been dehydrated and you dunk them in your tea. I don't know if it's just a South African thing. When we moved over from South Africa to the UK, I couldn't find these sort of things anywhere. And in South Africa, it's very much a case you will have a rusk with a cup of tea and you would dunk it and then eat it. And they're really, really quite yummy. Let's see if I can find... I'll see if I can find you a picture. And you can buy them, we could buy them in the supermarket in all sorts of flavors. And they're really, really yum. So I'm gonna give you, yeah, kinda. Here's a link to an Amazon. It's an Amazon link. If it will go through. No, it won't go through. Hang on. Let me find you a better one. Oh gosh, I'll end up taking you to the South African stores. That won't work. All right, let's see. All right, try that one. That might help. So my mom would make her own in Mozambique. And whenever we go, we would go in, even in South Africa, if we went visiting people, one of the things people would have readily available with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee would be Omar's rusks, and sometimes you would find other Afrikaans desserts or sweet treats, so like You get Cook Sisters. I'll find you a picture of that as well, which is beautiful pastry saturated in syrup. So it looks like plaited bread. I think it's like plaited bread. And then it completely and utterly coated in syrup. Very, very delicious. And then you get like milk tarts. Hi Shani, how are you? So all these foods are savory. Although you can get them slightly, they're mostly sweet, but the rusks are a bit more of an in between because they're not overly sweet. Milk tarts and Cook Sisters are much more on the sweetened side. When I'd go to church, sometimes we would have Cook Sisters as a treat to go with the tea and coffee afterwards. So that was always really nice. But here in the UK, rusks are considered more of a children's teething biscuit. So I kind of get given a few baffled looks. Okay, I'm not sure that Black Widow pencils are the best on this paper. They lay down all right, but eventually it starts to feel like they burnish quite quickly. Has anybody ever tried budget pencils in Magical Dawn or any of Hanna Karlzon's other books and had much luck? I know Castle Arts work pretty well on this paper. I've tried them. I'm not convinced on these Black Widows. The more I layer up, the more work it feels like just to get them to go down on top of each other. Yeah, so Cook Sisters are more like braided bread. I've never made them, and you can get some variations taste nicer than others. It all just depends on how much syrup there is and whether you like it with a lot of syrup or not. Hi Carly, how are you? Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. This is why I need to colour more with the Black Widows. I need to learn how to use them. Otherwise I'm going to end up being a Prismo die-hard girl. It might not be very fair on all the other pencil brands. Alright, now I'm going to use Brown Bug. Hi Leslie, how are you? Oh, Cully, you've been colouring a zillion flowers. What book have you been colouring in? I think I'm going to need to start colouring flowers soon. I think that these pencils have burnished this paper. And I've probably been using these pencils wrong. Oh dear. It's just not going down. Alright, I'm gonna just get out my Prismas because I want to see if I've ruined the paper or if it's the pencils. I'm glad you're well, Leslie. I'm not too bad. Alright. Let's get a cool grey, so 90% cool grey, because I want this. You see, look, it goes on. So for some reason, the Black Widow is not laying down. But the Prismacolor still lays down over the Black Widow. Hi Mona, how are you? Alright, I'm going to switch to Prismacolors because after a couple of layers the Black Widows are not working. And that is just going to frustrate. And we're supposed to enjoy colouring. I'm glad you're well, Mona. It's a pleasure. In your thunderstorms, do you get electric storms as well, or is it just regular thunderstorms? Oh, thank you, Collie. I'm so glad you liked them. Oh, really, Shannon? You got rid of the Black Widows? It's very interesting. I feel that way with the Marco Raffines. I don't like the Marco Raffines. Part of the reason why I don't actually buy loads of different pencils is because, especially the budget sets, I worry that I'll have this hassle too much where it will work in one book and then the rest of my books, that set won't work. So I just really struggle with the whole buying pencils and then not using them. Or maybe I'm just being difficult about it, but I mean, I think I would probably be more inclined to save up and buy artist grade pencils. Oh wow, so you sometimes get a lot of lightning. That's really cool. Alright, so Crimson Lake. Hi Anna, how are you? Thanks for joining, it's great to have you. Okay, now I want some Scarlet Lake. It's probably better to do red with Prismas anyway. I find their reds are very vibrant. we're just going to keep working on this and it will look fine. And it doesn't have to look like a heart-shaped gemstone or ruby. It can just look however it turns out. I actually sometimes have to tell myself that in order to not get caught up in making every page a masterpiece or anything like that. Just keep things in perspective. Oh, that's a good idea, designating a month to Hanna, Clara and Maria books, so you can do more pages. I've been thinking of dedicating like a month of coloring to Hanna Karlzon. I'd love to do Clara Markova marathon, but I don't know if I could pull it off. I'm worried that I'll get overworked if I kept do a only coloring Clara Markova pages. But a part of me is also curious to try it out and see how it goes. Oh, a month for Kanoka and Linda Ravenscraft. Yeah, I second a month for Kanoka Gusa. I don't have Linda Ravenscraft. I'm not 100% sure about her style. I think her drawings are really beautiful, don't get me wrong. I just haven't decided if her style is too dark for me. So I'm just sitting on the fence about that one. It's like Mystic Art Mirrors. I also do like how other people color her designs. I'm just not sure if it's the right designs for me yet. I mean, it might be later on. Who knows? I love looking at everybody else's beautiful colorings though. Oh, okay, well, that's good to know that the darker grayscale does erase well. I have heard the paper in Linda Ravenscraft books are really, really fabulous. I think it suits quite a lot of media as well, if I understand it correctly. Because I think Color Me Stress Free, she colors quite a bit of Linda Ravenscraft, and Lucy Just Adds Color. She also does quite a bit, and their colorings are amazing. Really do the artwork justice. Oh, that sounds beautiful, Carly. You did a heart a few days ago in Christchurch, Africa. And you kept it looking like a filigree heart. That sounds really lovely. Oh, I didn't realize Zucchini Kitty did Linda Ravenscraft as well, Jana. It's good to know. If you were to recommend a Linda Ravenscraft book for someone who's new to her artwork, which one would you recommend? Oh wow, okay, so any of them, no one book is better than the other. Well, that's good to know. Lizzie, it's not your cup of tea either. Yeah, it's funny how as you color and grow, your preferences and your style also changes. What you liked in the beginning turns out to be maybe not your favorite a few years down the line. It's a very fascinating process, this coloring journey. It's also like Karolina Kubikowska. She's also quite really popular in the coloring community from what I've seen. But I know definitely that regardless of how beautiful the illustrations or the paper, I don't think that's an artist I will get into anytime soon, because I can categorically say it's not my cup of tea. But I do appreciate the way other artists and colorists color in the pictures. There are some, though, I do kind of quickly look at and then skip over. But that's just me being myself. Oh, that's amazing, Jana. I'm so glad that you still continue to color in them, even the ones you first started with. That's clearly, she's one of those artists that just work for you, and that's really great. I feel that way about Hanna Karlzon's books. I mean, I've had Magical Dawn now for March will be, I think, no, April, May 2020 will be 3 years, no, 4 years. And I still keep coming back to them and really enjoying them. I'm thinking of even getting my hands on Seasons, because I don't have Seasons. And I thought that could be a nice addition, because I could then really, you know, work on coloring through the year. Rachel Reinert was one of the first books you got and still love working in her new books. Joanna was another one of the first and you still love hers as well. I haven't heard of Rachel Reinert. I know Jane Hopkins is another relatively popular one. Right, so I just want a little bit of white here just to lighten some of this up. Hi Carol, how are you? It's great to have you join us. Alright, I want a bit more Crimson Lake. I tried Maria Trolle, but for some reason Twilight Garden doesn't stick. I'll want to color it, I'll get it out, I'll open it up, and then I close it. So I don't know if I just picked the wrong Maria Trolle book to start with, or if it's one of those situations where it was the right book when I picked it out, but now it's not the right book anymore. Not really sure. Oh yes, I love Denise Klett. Fairies in the Dreamland book was another of your first books. They are fun. I've got Gnomes in the Neighborhood. I like that you can use watercolors, neocolors, markers, just about anything in Denise Klett's books. And there's a lot of freedom in coloring her books, I find. Yeah, they are really, really nice in those books. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked the drawing. I hope you are well, Prashant, and hope you've had a good start to your week. Oh, thank you, Mona. It's very Valentines. Reminds me of Valentine's Day. Not that funny enough, my husband and I don't actually do Valentine's Day. From the moment we met, he was very straightforward with me and said, nope, no Valentine's Day because it's commercialized and he doesn't do commercialism. So since then we don't do Valentine's Day, but I use Valentine's Day as an excuse to just be a sap with my boys and really love on them even more, and just take an excuse to kind of like tell them all sorts of sweet things and get them chocolate. And the one year I actually cut out 14 cardstock hearts and I wrote little affirmations on them, and I would stick one in their room every day until Valentine's Day. Oh, thank you, Kenny. Okay, so now I need my eraser. Oh, thanks, Connie. There's something I saw in a Facebook group, this parenting group about raising children with a growth mindset, or just like a healthy mindset, I suppose. And it was a suggestion there, and I thought actually that was a really great suggestion to just celebrate Valentine's Day with your kids. Plus, I'm hugely sentimental, so. Right, so now I want to clean this up so I can go in and do my gold. Oh, wonderful, Kenny. You also told your husband, the first Valentine of your relationship, not to bother. I think Valentine's is for kid anyway. Oh, wow, Carol, you got engaged on Valentine's Day. Wow, 50 years ago. That's amazing. That is so amazing. Oh, cool, Carly. You went and passed out Valentine cards to your schoolmates. That's so cool. Oh, no, Carol. You have wisdom. Wisdom that the rest of us who are still getting close to even 20 years need. I mean, we've been married 17 years now, and we're already super proud of ourselves, but it's like, no, we haven't learned everything yet. Still got a long road ahead of us. Gosh, I can only imagine getting to 50 years. I think my parents are around the 40-year mark now. Oh, Kali, that's amazing. You gave one to everyone so no one was excluded. Is 50 years the diamond or the gold? Because they have the tiers. You get gold, silver, diamond. I think 70 is Jubilee. Oh wow, Leslie, your parents had their 57th. That is incredible. Wow. Wow, and Mona's been married for 52 years and it went by so fast. Gosh, it's incredible. And very, very encouraging, actually. Just gives those of us who are younger hope that we can make our marriages last. Alright, so this is Jasmine. Oh, one of the tears is paper. That's quite early on, I think. I don't know, I remember years ago looking it up, but I've forgotten about it. I mean, when we have our anniversary, we just really go out for dinner. In the early years, we used to go out for a day spa, and then we had the kids. So now if we just get to go out, it's a treat. Let me bring this down a wee bit. Wow, that's wonderful, Mona. 4 children, 4 grandchildren, all successful. Humans between their careers and college. That's wonderful. You must be so proud. Alright, so here I'm going to do gold on here. So I'll do the one wing on camera and then I'll do the other wing the same but off camera. Oh, thanks, Kenny. We will definitely keep doing what we're doing. I do find the longer we've been married, the more we seem to enjoy just being together. I think I mentioned that to my parents relatively recently. I said to my dad, I just find marriage gets more beautiful the longer we're married. And he said to me that it's supposed to be that way. Oh, I'm so glad you're proud of them. You should be. Oh, fabulous. Thanks for saying that, Mona. Alright, so here I'm using artichoke, and I've left white highlights to just help create a bit of that sparkly shine. I saw my Colourful Country Life had done a video on metal color combos, and I think it was for Prismacolors. So I went and screenshot her color combos because I only know this combo for metal, especially gold. it's like, okay, maybe we need to broaden our horizons here. Right, so now we'll do burnt umber inside the artichoke. I really loved Leslie's color combos for the metal she was doing on her live stream on Friday. I wasn't able to stay very long because the kids were needing my attention, and then I couldn't hop back on because when they were done with me it was already, I think, 6. It's always so great to see other people coloring different types of metal, because it's nice to watch and see the different combos they use and the effects they get. Yes, she does have gorgeous combos. Even like the color combos for water, I think there's so many different color combos you can use to color water in, and I find myself having to actually go and say, okay, you know what, let's go see who has colored different types of water, and either watch their videos and see what their color combo is and then try it myself, or just follow along in their color along. Otherwise I find it's easy to get stuck in a rut where you just use the same thing. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's part of it, or maybe we're supposed to have more color combos. I'm not sure yet. I haven't worked it out. Hi Brittany, how are you? Sounds like you've had a bit of a rough call. I hope it gets sorted out soon for you, if possible. Right, so that's the one wing, and that's how I will do the gold everywhere. So I'll make these circles gold, well, except these things here, but I'll make these gold, these circles gold, and then I'll do gold in here. Right, so now I want cloud blue, true blue, and let's try aquamarine. All right, we'll see how this goes. All right, I'm going to start with my true blue here. Bearing in mind, I'm going to bring it out into like white. Okay, let me bring this down. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in my aquamarine. Bring some true blue here. and then the cloud blue. All right, then white pencil. Right, and then I just want to deepen this slightly, so I'm going to use a little bit of black. Just a little bit. Keep your darks darks and your light lights. Oh, yes, it is really little, isn't it? To be fair, I do have the pencil extender next to me. It just feels a little bit easier to do this. I try and glue my little nubs right to the back of my other pencils like I've done with this one, so I can maximize my pencils as much as possible. Yeah, it has lived a good life. It's also had, I think some of them, they broke quite quickly initially, and then as I've used them, they've almost stabilized a little bit. But I think it might just be I found the more suited pencil sharpener for them. But come summer, I'm going to stick them out again in the sun so that the heat can just soften the wax and just fuse them a bit more. I think it does help, and at least that way I don't destroy them if I stick them in the oven or in the microwave, because they are quite precious. I just want to find the picture I'm getting inspiration from, just so I can check the color combo again. And that was one. Okay, so it did have quite a little bit more of these dark sections here. So it was quite darkish blue, well, had these dark bits in it, and then bright. Oh, thank you, Kali. I'll actually send you in the chat the picture I'm using so you can see where I'm getting my inspiration from. But I'm not going to get it the same. It's not going to look like the picture. it will look its own. But those are sort of the idea. I quite liked it. But I'll try use similar colors for the background. And I'll use a white gel pen, maybe even paint, and I'll try and smoothen out the black lines, but I'll do that after I've done the background. And for these little rings here, I might just use a red gel pen, give it a little bit of sparkle. Okay, so then black pencil. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. We will, hopefully when I do the background, it will come together. One step at a time. And then I've decided I'm going to do gold here, just to bring the gold in a bit more, and I'll do this gold. As far as I recall, red, blue and gold work quite well together, so the color combo should be fine. The colors shouldn't clash. It would make a great tattoo, yes. Somewhere on the back or something. Okay, so if I clean this up. Well, it could actually come in here and bring the heart in here. Kind of carry that heart shape through. Of course, miniature scale, of course. Some tattoos are absolutely incredible. Definitely some of these more modern tattoos are by far a work of art. So again, I'm just using the gold combo to create the gold. Oh, thank you, Yana. I have been using a colorless blender to help. I find it does speed up the process just a touch. Otherwise, I'll be blending for much longer. So these will be gold as well. There's lots of fiddly bits, little bits. So I'm trying to lighten the bottom of the circles because they've already got the dark here. So if I lighten it, I get sort of a contrast going. And then the wings will carry on just being the same colors on the feathers, and then here this will be gold. You typed that like I know speak English. just work on the gold bits here. Hopefully disappear all the red bits into the dark sides of the gold, so it doesn't look too funny. Nose is going to look red stained. Okay, so then a bit of white to blend it out, and I'll have to use white gel pen to try and cover up all my red mistakes. Oh, I tell you. Okay, so I will do the other wing, finish this wing. It's the same thing I've been doing. And then next week, Monday, I will do the background, finish it off. And we can do the inside here. But yeah, so that's kind of the idea. So thanks everyone for joining me. I really appreciate you. Thank you for a good time and all the lovely conversation. I hope you have a really great week, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. So have a good week. I'll zoom you out so you can see the full picture. So that's how she's looking for now. All right, everyone, take care. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.